What's going on, everyone? My name is Benjamin Nowak and welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be a little bit different than your normal fishing style video. I'm going to take you guys through the tackle purchasing process all the way to how I pick out the baits and then catch bass on the baits that I'm buying. In partnership with Omnia Fishing, we're going to walk you guys through this entire process and show you guys how to use their website, but also explain what makes Omnia unique and what better way than to actually start buying some tackle. Now, like most of you guys, I buy a lot of my baits online, so I'm going to go on the Omnia Fishing website and talk you guys through this process and show you what I'm going to pick out. Omnia also has an app, but for the sake of this video, I'm just going to use their website on my phone. Now, when you get to their website, you can start by shopping by lake. So I'm going to go to Find a Lake, and I'm going to try and search for Bud Lake in Clare, Michigan. Now, Bud's a lake that I've never actually fished, but I've heard that it has some pretty decent fish in it. So we're going to head out there. These fish should be post-spawn, early summer, and I think they should be pushing deep. Now, you can see there's 4 users favorited this lake, but no one has submitted a report for it yet. So I'm going to go back to the home page, and when I do, I start scrolling down, and you can search popular products near you. And as you scroll through this, you're going to see a Robo Worm and a Berkeley Power Bait Pit Boss. And you can scroll down to see bestsellers too. But I want to see kind of fishing in Michigan, and I think this is what makes this so unique. I can go to Michigan-specific reports and search how people are going out and catching largemouth. That's what Bud Lake is. It's a largemouth-specific lake. Now, if you look here, most of the reports are using drop shots, and then you have a couple of other techniques as well in there. But it seems like most people that are out there fishing right now are fishing with drop shots, as well as Texas rigs, chatterbaits, football jigs, and so gives me an idea what I need to be looking for. Scrolling down here into the popular products, what's pretty neat is it's going to suggest products that are actually being used on your lakes. Now, obviously a Z-Man jackhammer is being used. Kind of a unique one is that Fat Ica. A Fat Ica reminds me of a bait called the Demiki Hydra, and this is a bait that I used to use, I'd say probably about 7 years ago. So we're going to check this thing out. Scrolling through the colors, I think I'm looking for like a green pumpkin baitfish style color. This one's kind of interesting. This watermelon candy, I think it is. Let's scroll down real quick. What I'm looking for is a baitfish style color, whether it's green pumpkin or watermelon candy in the 4-inch size. That's the one I think I'm going to go with here. I'm just looking for a bluegill imitation, something I can Nika rig, put on a jig head, and make it look like a baitfish down on bottom. Another bait I've had a ton of success on is this Robo Worm 6-inch fat. This is a bait that my buddy Dirds likes to drop shot a lot, and he's been using to catch a bunch of big fish. Like, that's not really a secret. And he uses this bait with the chartreuse base a lot, the bull bluegill. I think I want something with more purple in it. That's been kind of his key color this year, is something with purple base. So we're going to kind of look around here and go with one of these purple colors. This MM3 looks pretty cool because it's not just straight purple. It's not like a pinkish hue. It's more purple base. It looks like a really good color, and it's pretty popular across the country. This BioBait bait fuel is pretty unique. I'm going to add this to my cart. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews, but we're going to see if the hype's real on this bait fuel. I know Missile Baits also came out with a brand new Nico weight. It's a different shape that's supposed to help the weight stay in your bait. And I plan on Nico rigging that Demiki Hydra as well as that Robo Worm probably a little bit. So we're going to go with the 1/8 ounce size and just see if it really works. I don't want to buy a ton unless I know this Nico weight's going to stay in my bait a little bit better. So I'm trying to get to that $50 mark. It's kind of what I want to keep this around. And I think what I'm going to search for is some sort of crankbait. A bait that I've had my eye on for a long time is this Spro Little John DD. This is a bait that's unique because it has flat sides. It's a deep diving bait. And that cellmate color is pretty unique. This is a color that I have a lot of confidence in other brands. It's basically a matted, muted chartreuse with a matte blue back. And it's just a bait that I think looks great and is going to catch some fish. And then finally, we need a hook. So I'm going to go to the Owner Sniper Weedless Finesse. This is a hook that I have a ton of confidence in. I've used a long time on my drop shot and on my Nico rigs, so that 2/0 size is going to be the deal. And then finally, I want to search through these new products really quick. I know Spro just released that CJ Smasher worm. It's a pretty unique looking drop shot bait, so I'm going to pick up a pack of those, and I believe that should put me right at that $50 mark. So that's how I use the Omnia website. I'm able to go in there, search by the lake that I'm fishing, or search by the state that I'm fishing in, and it's getting me recommendations based on the season, the species of fish, and the bodies of water that I'm fishing. So it's really cool. You can deep dive on a bunch of different things. You can see user fishing reports, which I'm going to have a fishing report for the lake that I'm going to in this video. So go down in the description and check that out if you guys want more information on how I caught the fish. I think I'm going to use the 2-day shipping, so I should have this in a couple days, and I'll catch you in about 2 days. Let's go. Now, as you know, I ordered it on Thursday. I used the 2-day express shipping, and I thought maybe it would get here by Monday. It ended up getting here yesterday, Saturday, so we're going to be fishing them tonight for my Sunday night tournament. This is on a different lake than the Bud Lake that I originally purchased these for, but they should set up pretty similarly. Post-spawn fish, near the breaks, around that deep grass, maybe some fish in that summer mode where the deep crankbait's going to work. So we're going to open this thing up, do a quick unboxing, and then head to the lake. The first product out of the pack is this bait fuel. What's interesting about this is that it doesn't actually have any scent from my understanding. If I open this bottle, it has no scent, which is just very odd. It's a water-based attractant. They call it the Fish Active Scent Technology, and I've heard so many mixed reviews on this. I know all the pros use it, and I know Mikey Balls has done a video on this, and I just think it's a very interesting bit of technology. And now, even if it doesn't work, it doesn't at least go against me or cost me bites. So we're going to try it. We're going to see if this bait fuel is as legit as they say it is. And if Mikey's talking about it, then it probably is pretty decent. Now, this is probably what I'm the most excited for out of this entire pack. These are the Spro CJ Smasher. What it is basically just a little drop shot worm. It's a rounded body down to a tapered flat tail. The shape isn't really anything that crazy, but it's made out of that, I guess, Elastec style plastic. So that's pretty interesting. This honestly reminds me of the back end of a hitworm, which I really, really love to fish on a drop shot. I'll cut that hitworm down to about 3.5 inches, put it on a drop shot, and it catches a ton of fish. It just has a different action than that flatworm. And this is kind of what this reminds me of. So I'm excited to check it out. We're going to see if it works. Let's just put it that way. And then the Damiki Hydra. You have a pretty big bulbous body, that big tentacle tail, almost like a spider jig. What I'm planning to do is put that Nico weight in here, Nico this bait, and it should stand up like this. It should fall pretty slow, maybe look like a bait fish. It's going to be an interesting presentation, so we're going to try this out. This is the 4-inch size in the watermelon candy color. It's going to imitate those bluegill pretty well. This is the hook I'm going to be using, the Owner Sniper Finesse Weedless 2/0 size, and then our Robo Worm in the Margarita Mutilator color. We're going to give this a shot probably on a drop shot as well as possibly a Nico rig if they don't want to eat that big bait Hydra. Then we got the deep diving crankbait, and this is a bait that I've looked at for a long time. It's a bigger body bait, but it's a deep diving crankbait. The biggest deal here is having a big body that can deflect off that cover really effectively. I'm going to put this on 14-pound test line so I can hopefully get it down to about 14, 15 foot of water, and that big bill is going to help this deflect effectively. And finally are these Nico weights. Now, what makes these weights so unique is their shape. You can tell it sort of has a pointed end with a gap there. That's supposed to help this stay in the bait more effectively. That's my biggest problem with Nico weights, is how many I lose. I go through so many of these. I'm going to get these baits rigged up, rods rigged up. Dirge is going to be here in a little bit. We're going to go throw around our Nico rig, our drop shot, and that big crankbait. See if we can't put some fish in the boat today. Okay, we're now at Big Lake. About to take off in the tournament. There's about 11 boats. It's going to take about 8.5 pounds. Again, I have the Omnia box, the Robo Worm, the Damiki Hydra, the diving crankbait, and the Nico rig and stuff. We're going to give this thing a shot. 3 fish, so that's about a 2.5, 3 pound average. Dirds, you ready?
We're just going to go catching.
Just go catching. Let's make this thing happen. I hope you can hear me, because I can't hear myself. Okay, this is how you scope these fish right here. Wait till you see one around it, like the one at 75. And you bang. See, there is one holding them tight together though. And he's coming over to eat my drop shot. Hey, hey, hey. Oh my gosh. He's tiny. Get another one. Yes.
He's on the surface. Hey, dude, look at this.
That's funny. Look at all those bluegill. Those are all bluegill, and I think that's a bass holding the back end of the school where it is. They're either really tight or very suspended. That was like a bluegill. Like, that's not a bluegill.
A little bigger, but that's a start.
That's one. In that grass though. Thanks. Number one. 1.5 pounder. Thanks, buddy. Look at them all. Here we go, Don. He's on me. That's one.
Bigger one too, yeah.
Yeah, that's one. It's not. I can't tell either. That's for sure not 14, right?
Yeah.
That's how you scope them out here. That's it. I mean, that's how I would do it.
Yeah.
But if they're all those gups,
then there's no sense in scoping.
right. But in the famous words of Dirds, you gotta catch 3 before you can call.
So.
Oh my god! Did you just hit me in the face? Get him in the boat! You hit me in the face.
With the rod?
Oh, the line literally like clotheslined me. Fish? Yeah, it looked big.
A little higher. Good job.
Good high five too. That's a better one. We need 3 of those.
Yep.
Good job. Everyone's gonna have basically what we have, just a little bit heavier.
A little bit heavier.
I'm sorry. Hour number 1 update. We're catching fish. I think all my fish have come on a robo-worm so far, with the exception of one on a spy bait, the very, very, very first cast with that spy bait. But we're catching them. We have a limit. We just don't have a big limit. So we're just going to keep at it, and keep trying to upgrade. We probably have about 5.5 pounds right now. We need a couple more 2.5 pounders. Dirt's caught a 2.5 on a crankbait, and the rest have been all pretty small. But we're scoping them, fishing around the grass. You guys can probably tell the wind is gassing, and we're gassed up. Let's go. So Sonny Boy's the one catching them right now, so.
Did you get that 2-pounder?
Yeah.
I thought you did. I was trying to figure out, because you got 2 in the box and I got the big one.
Yeah. I don't know if that's big or not. Yeah, it feels better. No, it's
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Oh,
Nice one, dude.
thanks, dude.
Thanks, dude.
Thanks, dude. That'll call.
You want to start weighing and tagging?
The one with the tag is. Oh, there we go.
That makes me feel better.
Yeah.
That's a good limit.
Yeah. That's a good limit. Now we just need a big one, dude. We just need one big bite. Well, we have an hour and 15, so it's about to. The bite should be about to get started. Big. Cold blue.
Here, you get them on hook and I'll just go on keep catching them here.
Dude, that one was weird because I popped it out of the grass.
Yeah.
And like it came out and then just stopped. And like that's when he had it. That was a good one. Like, here's the deal. Yes, I'm live scoping these fish, but even more than live scope, I'm using it to find the grass and find the bait. Like, the bait and the grass is so key, more than actually seeing the fish. Okay, I don't know why I'm talking to you guys in the middle of the tournament, but we have about 45 minutes left.
While
Dinner bell has been rung. Yeah, they're definitely biting. This is what we're looking at. This is bait fish. These bass are sitting underneath these bait, pushing them up onto the flat. So that's what we're looking for. That's what these fish are doing. It's not a really hard pattern. You don't need live scope. You can do it without. But we're just drop shotting that robo worm, and that's what we've caught pretty much all of our fish on, all of our keeper fish, with the exception of one on a crankbait. But I got to get back to fishing. Catch you guys here in a second.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I do. Look at, there they are. 1, 2, 3. There's like 5 fish down under that bait. Big.
I don't think he gets this.
No. I didn't get a good look at him. Maybe. Yeah. I think he's big. I don't know.
Dude, I
Maybe.
think so.
No. He's pretty skinny.
Oh, yeah, he's light.
We're on the right fish. Okay, that's it. I don't really know where we're gonna end up. We've probably caught about 7.5 pounds, which is a pretty good bag. It's pretty close to what we wanted to catch, but it's just gonna take one of those big fish. Like, I think if someone caught a really big 3.5, 4 pounder, they're gonna have a real good shot. So we just never got that bite. We caught a ton of them. Pretty much all of my fish came on that robo worm. It was a good night. We never got that big bite. And in these tournaments where you're fishing for 3, having that big bite is really, really, really key. So, you know, we'll see where we pan out, but it was a lot of fun. We caught a bunch of fish. Robo worm was the deal. We can't complain at all. So it's been a couple days since the tournament, but we ended up bringing home a paycheck. We had 767 and ended up winning with that, and a 275 big bass. So by no means did we blow this out of the water. We didn't catch any giants, and we didn't smash a bag, but anytime you can bring home a paycheck, anytime you can win a tournament, even against 12 boats, it's a good night on the water. So I want to give you guys a rundown on what we were doing to end up catching these fish. And I think the biggest key of our night was fishing around those big pods of bluegill. These fish were post-spawn, early summer, starting to push out to deep off that grass transition, and where these fish were hanging out was outside of the bait, corralling it into the grass. Now, I showed you guys that screenshot earlier of my live scope, but these bass were sitting outside the bait, corralling them and pushing them up shallow. So that was really, really key for us. And that robo worm that we were using had a purple base. The MM3 color with the purple base and the brown belly was a great imitation of those bluegill, and I think in that tannic off-color water, it stood out and matched the hatch really well. So this robo worm fat 6-inch was the deal for us that night on a drop shot. So we played around with all the other baits as well, but the key deal for us that night was a Texas rigged robo worm on a drop shot with a 1/4 ounce weight. That 1/4 ounce was light enough, it helped that bait get on bottom and stay down there, but it wasn't super heavy that it bogged down in that short grass. You want to kind of use the lightest weight possible that you can get away with while keeping your bait on the bottom. The rod that I was using is a TFO Tactical Elite 713 drop shot rod. It's a 7'1", medium light, fast action drop shot rod. It's my go-to spinning rod for all kind of finessey presentations. A Zeta 3000 size spinning reel, 8-pound braid to 8 or 10-pound fluorocarbon line, and that was the overall setup that I used to catch those fish. The key of the night, though, and I'm going to keep saying this to you guys, is finding the bait fish, especially during the post-spawn in those early summer months when the bait is really congregated out deep. Finding that big pot of bait and the right style of bait fish, in this case was bluegill, is really important. So keep your eyes peeled, use your electronics effectively, and you can typically figure out where these bass are feeding and what they're doing and keying on in that deeper water. So hopefully this helps you guys out. Like I mentioned, this is sponsored by Omnia. They gave me the opportunity to go through their website, pick out some baits. That's what's really cool about this whole thing. That bait was suggested by the Omnia website for my region, Michigan, to help me go out and catch more fish. So go over to Omnia, check them out. Use the links down in the description below if you guys want to check out any of the baits that I was using in this video. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Take care, tight lines. God bless. Pursue your passion.